Good morning, it's Jeffrey Cohen. How are you today? It's Friday, August 5th. It's summer, so we're expecting summertime markets. And the markets have gone up a lot in the past week, and we're going to talk about it. In fact, our model has predicted the markets would go up and predicted the exact stocks that would go up, and it's been the most insane thing ever. So I'm Jeffrey Cohen. I'm an investment advisor representative and the president of U.S. Advanced Computing Infrastructures Incorporated, which is a registered investment advisor in Illinois. If you're an Illinois resident, then we're allowed to serve you in an unlimited fashion, both quantitative analysis, non-discretionary investment advice, and just to collaborate on different research topics even. We are a consultancy. We do specialize also in quantum computing. We actually made a lot of money on that last year. This year, it's been mostly about the markets. And so we saw some things. I guess I'm going to start with just what we saw. So where is the... Oh, that's funny. Here it is. Update. Publish the post. Got it. Let's show it. There we go. Oh, that scared the heck out of me, right? Because, it didn't show up. There it is. So what did we notice? So we've been thinking about the markets a lot, and there's always stuff we can do to improve our runs, improve our model, quantitative analysis. And in fact, I think we're going to spend most of the day doing that. We noticed a few things. I want to say this is important. Mornings on social media are mornings wasted. I've now noticed this a couple times. Right? I went on financial Twitter trying to kind of see where read the tea leaves, right? See where the feelings were. You know what I picked up? There's a vibe recession. I can't get that term out of my head now. There's a vibe session. People are not working because it doesn't feel nice. All right, that's not helpful for stock markets. Inflation is now a global phenomenon, and I would say, when did that happen? And what's going on? There's a linkage of currencies, and so it's funny. I'm putting a couple things together, right? I remember when inflation first hit, and people were yelling and saying, "No, no, no! It's not the Federal Reserve Bank's fault. Look, Europe has inflation." And I realized we've tied a lot of currencies together. The euro, the Great British Pound, the Chinese renminbi, all tied. Latin American currencies and Latin American countries based on the US dollar, all tied, all seeing massive inflation. Japan, on the other hand, has taken an independent monetary and fiscal policy approach. Japan has inflation, but it's high at 2.5%. The Japanese central bank spent a significant amount of money recently defending low government bond yields, and they are still keeping as close as they can to zero interest rates. So Japan took a different approach. Next, the market is trading in just a few active stocks with volume. It's almost like when you see little kids play soccer and everyone runs to the ball, as opposed to holding your positions. I see a lot of that. I see a lot of action, a lot of excitement and intensity. Even I'm looking right now at stocks. Even things closing or halting. Right? It happens usually in the morning. It happens early. It happens pre-market, and it's fascinating, right? So you kind of have to know what those stocks are. You have to know how to find them. Good news is our model knows how to find those, so that's been really terrific. It's a gutsy play, though, right? Because your stock options are very expensive, and your pre-market spreads when these stocks really move pre-market, the spreads can be as much as 10%. I mean, some of the stocks, it's a penny spread, no big deal. But some of them are like 10%. And so we don't trade pre-market. We don't trade after hours because it's hard to get it in and out in any kind of size. But these aren't necessarily big trades. These are like people making a few bucks, which could turn into making $100,000 of profit in a day, right? But small. And even stocks that we have. So I might share. Yeah, I'm going to pull it up off screen. I don't want to, share too much weird stuff here. Let's do it off screen and I'll bring it back on. Yeah, some stocks have higher volume, but in general, the stocks we're looking at have lower than average volume, anywhere from a half to a quarter. Let's take a look. 20%, 40%. A couple stocks are trading above, 1 to 2 times above. This is probably worth sharing. Let me finish with the thought here, right? Cannabis is in trouble. The cannabis industry is in trouble because the price of marijuana itself, the part that you would use to smoke or to cook with or whatever, has been in decline for years now. All of it. Medical price, recreational use, greenhouse, indoor, outdoor. Now outdoor actually is flattened at around $500. It's actually not a bad price, but that's outdoor cultivation, right? Indoor cultivation, which is where you spend all the money to do it, has dropped from above 1,500 to like 1,300, relative to a $500 per pound outdoor. So plant it outdoors, wrap it up. You actually can make a lot of money, but then you don't need all the hydroponics and all the lights and everything. God gives you the lights. It's called solar power. Here's what I noticed. First thing we'll do is we'll sort by market cap. So volumes in some of these high cap stocks actually are trading at higher volumes. It's interesting. Maybe it's not quite the same story. These are stocks that are downtrodden, walking wounded, right? And so Amazon actually up a slightly lower volume. WBD, Warner Brothers Discovery Channel, pre-market is probably through the floor because they just had, it's horrific how bad their earnings were. Yeah, I heard a rumor, total tongue-in-cheek. It's not a rumor. But hey, I heard a rumor that like AT&T or Verizon was going to buy Warner Brothers Discovery to try to boost up their business performance by leveraging a network infrastructure. I think that's a terrific idea. We should take a look at AT&T and Verizon and see maybe there's a play here. Maybe Warner Brothers can get acquired. I'm laughing because Warner Brothers just spun off, and this is the first quarterly earnings, and the stock is down 13.25%, and they lost money, a lot of money, and they're going to fire people, and it's crap. And there's AT&T. I wonder if they're holding. People are probably just thankful that they got out when they did. And look at Verizon. So we look at stocks that are more like everyday consumer stocks, like Verizon and AT&T. You see they're down. You look at Walmart. We follow these stocks. Walmart's down. It's going to come up again this morning, but wow, look at it over a year. And Walmart came up, dropped like crazy into that June period, and then has made a nice recovery. It looks like it can't really hold the gains, but what else? All of your physical mining stocks are doing so much better. Cleveland Cliffs, Although Freeport McMoran hasn't really recovered because copper is still around 350. One stock I find interesting, I'll just share it with you, is Gardner Group. Gardner Group has seen a lot of strength recently off of the June low. So the June low hit 224, it's at 293. So that is $70 or about 35% rise in a few weeks. We've seen this with a lot of stocks. They bottomed in June. The puts paid, the shorts paid. And now you're on the toilet again if you're short, right? You kind of lost your window. We see this story a lot, and this is like the tail of the tape that we're seeing across the market, and it's happening in the heat of the summer, which is not normal. So we have a summertime rally, we have a summertime recovery, relatively speaking, on low volume. Let's see if Gardner has low volume. Okay, that's weird volume. Let's do a 1 year daily chart. Yeah, look at that. Relatively speaking, low volume. So you don't rise 35% on low volume unless it's liquidity driven. Look at that, gapped up. That's reasonable volume, but still less than 1 million shares. I mean, it's a big rise on very few shares. I noticed one of the stocks that we own, and I'll do it. I'll break my own rule here. American Shared Hospital Services. Love the stock. I'm long the stock. Love the stock. The stock's going up. I'm not going to say it's going to the moon because that's not the case, but it's going up. It is. My money is saying this is going to go up. What's interesting about the stock is that there's no volume. If we look 3 months and we look at volume, you're looking at, a big day with 68,000 shares, but yesterday it traded 6,000 shares. I don't even think our model will allow this stock to show up because it trades 3,800 shares in a day, 1,600 in a day, 1,000. Yeah, our model won't even pick it up. It's not relevant. So it's a small float. But now it's nice to see a little bit of trading there, right? 68,500 shares, but it just doesn't move. And so what we saw yesterday was a lot of this low volume action, right? Now you can't, I guess you could say, oh, this is a terrible stock. It hit 227, but it probably hit 227 on 100 shares. It's just crazy. If I had a big enough bank account, I would just put a $2.30 buy on this thing and just had unlimited amounts of stock and just keep buying. It's just too little, too late. So cannabis and tobacco, just run for the hills. Grow generation down 9%. And my guess is grow generation is going to break $4. Grow generation's in big trouble. I don't know why Canopy is down. I do know why grow generation is down. They had just horrific earnings. Here's the earnings call. Here's the document for grow generation. It's awful. I'm sick to my stomach for grow generation. Net sales declined 44% for the quarter. Net loss of $136 million. Loss per share is $2.24 in the quarter. Now you could argue that it's not real because they had impairment expenses on goodwill and other intangibles. But truth is, it's not a well-performing business right now. So we look at what else that we have. We have grow generation. We are very optimistic of grow generation. And look at that. Pre-market volume, 769 shares at a quarter apiece. That's $200 traded pre-market. It takes it down 5%. I don't know. Can't trade this market. It's very thin market. That's what I'm telling you. You know, Hallador Energy is a coal producer in Indiana that just got given a free power plant. It traded 1,270 shares after hours. American Shared Hospital Services, pre-market, 750 shares. Yeah, this thing's going up. I'm going to boost it up too. I'm just going to buy more and more and more until I'm sick to my stomach. So, I haven't told you anything interesting yet. I mean, I gave you a couple insights. Let's see what else I had there. Got really distracted. Let's go back to my blog post. Yeah, the S&P 500 and other market indices have recovered, which is fascinating. The news is worse. You have core macroeconomic and monetary news is worse. You have political tensions. You have China filing missiles over the sovereign territory of Taiwan. Oh my God, I just spilled on myself. You have really, really bad things happening in the market right now. Just leave it. You have really bad things happening in the market right now. You have short-term interest rates rising. I don't know what the market's going to do today. I don't know why the market's going up, but it is. And so you can be right morally, or you can be rich. But don't let your belief on where the market is supposed to be drive your investing and your trading. Because I was sure that this market was going down, down, down. But you know what? Once I saw the market start to go up, I had to make bets. I had to go the other way. I had to go with the market. Yeah, and what's up with monkeypox? Guys, they knew it was coming. This is in Indonesia. Jakarta, Indonesia. Just, guys, stay away from monkeys. It's disgusting. And it's like smallpox. And now it's not just people touching monkeys. It's people that have it touching babies. Now the babies are getting it. If you have monkeypox, if you have smallpox, don't touch babies. Don't touch people. Don't touch anybody. Stay home. Right? Just do it. Do it. Don't spread. Don't spread. We already had it with AIDS. Don't do it. We don't need more poxes. And I'm not saying it's not a gay thing anymore, because now just people touch people. But I mean, I talked about it in a previous tweet. We were at a concert, and two different situations, two very effeminate men came up, put their arms around me, and you know what? I said, "Don't touch me. Back off. This is not consensual. This is not okay. What are you doing?" I don't know if they have monkeypox or herpes or gonorrhea or anything. I don't care. And I don't care if they're just high as a kite and want to, love their brother. Don't touch me. It's not okay. You don't get to touch me, especially not when you got the plague. So just stay away. It's not okay. None of this is okay. Monkeypox is not okay. It's a national epidemic in the United States. It's an emergency. And then you got effeminate men touching me. This body is reserved for my wife. She touches it all she wants. You don't get to touch it. No touchy. All right. That was my public service announcement. That's helpful. I know you. Anyone out there who's got the monkeypox or whatever is probably like cringing right now, but I don't care. I'm disgusted by it. Right? Don't fuck monkeys. I can't even imagine. That's how AIDS got started. Now we got the monkeypox. It's disgusting. I can't take it. I'm out. Don't do it anymore. All right, let's take a look at crypto. Speaking of monkeypox, how we do with crypto? It's up. I constantly find this fascinating, right? There's like an ebb and flow here between 20,000 and 30,000, and it continues to try its best to rise. So There's Bitcoin at 23,400, and you've had a couple of day rise. So what's interesting is the stocks that our model is picking, two of them are Bitcoin related. Actually, a third one has Bitcoin undercurrents because it sells chips to Bitcoin makers. And so Bitcoin rising does affect certain parts of the market, and we like it because we can profit on that. We're not saying we like Bitcoin, but we're saying that when Bitcoin goes up, certain related industries go up. Great British Pound is making a nice recovery. Look at that. It's a nice recovery. Canadian dollar still stronger. Japanese yen has recovered from its defense. So the whole point about Japan is they had to spend a lot of money and a lot of effort. The Japanese central bank, the government bank, spent a lot of money, Japanese government, Japanese central bank, defending Japan's right to have low interest rates. And you see the euro at a buck 230 is about the same where it's been. Futures today, green, lightly, slightly green. VIX, it's slightly lower today, but it's lower. It's made a huge decline, and so there's no fear today. Maybe we will buy the stocks that the model picked today. The model picked a couple of stocks, real risky things. But look at that, copper's up at 356. So copper's up above 350. That's strong for the economy. That sends a strong signal. Now silver's down, dollar's up. So dollar up, interest rates up. So risk-free interest rates up, dollar up. But then you see copper up, energy up. And what that tells me is not sure where the market's going to go. There's some conflicting messages there in the market. VIX is down, so maybe there's just no news today. So maybe it's all about like people's feelings today, the vibes. How's your market vibes today? I don't know. I'm looking at these stocks thinking I probably should jump in right when the market opens. What do you think, Jeffrey? How's the vibes? Credit Suisse is in trouble. We saw that. Deutsche Bank was in trouble before Credit Suisse. There's not really any news, per se. So why don't we just take a look at some of the industries we follow? Maybe we can see where things are. So computers and chips, mixed. By the way, we just bought a new computer yesterday. So that's pretty cool. Spent much more than I thought I would, but got a really good deal on a rather advanced system. Pretty happy. Yellow went up, and I don't know why. Yellow had a real issue with profit margins. We used to serve them as a client. But trucking's up. Chips and dip, chips and semiconductors. How are we doing there? Mixed pre-market. Although some of the smaller ones, like ACLS, was up 8% yesterday. I'm looking at the wrong view. God, I realize I'm so confused sometimes. So Lattice is up pre-market. NXP, Acellus, Alpha and Omega. But Micron is down, and AMD is down, and NVIDIA is down. So some of the bigger players are down. Let's go back to computers and chips. Yeah, I guess they know we bought a computer because one of the companies we bought the computer from is on this list in the green category. It wasn't that big of a purchase. It shouldn't have made a difference. Let's take a look at Cannabis. Yeah, Cannabis is, interestingly enough, Scott's Miracle-Gro looks good, given the real weakness in hydrofarm and grow generation. Crypto and miners. Physical mining and production of metals still looks good pre-market. Bitcoin is up, and so are the Bitcoin stocks. So interesting. Coal. Coal is up pre-market. I thought I said something about energy being up. I think energy's up too. Coal is up. Energy's up. Yeah, energy's up slightly. And natural gas is down. Let's look at specialty retailers. So it looks like Alibaba wants to give back some of its gains. Rent-A-Center. So interesting. The same stocks go up and down all the time. Carvana's up pre-market. Bed Bath & Beyond. Q-Rate Retail. So yeah, these stocks are just moving. Back and forth. Up at Party City is up to 129. That's been down. That was down lower. CarMax is up. So I think there's just a lot of movement today, and it's a lot of balanced movement. And in terms of stocks that we either hold or are considering to hold, you can see Grow Generation, Corbis, Digital Turbine is down, TNA is down, Upstart is down, Mercado Libre is down. Is that right? These prices don't look right. Yeah, maybe it's right. Yeah, Mercado Libre went up to, it was 1,034. I guess that's okay. And then we take a look at New View, pre-market percentage, and Mercado Libre is going to correct, Nvidia is going to correct. So a number of the stocks that that we would look at as being potentially good buys, right, risk plays, are down. What's interesting is when the risk plays are down pre-market, does that mean the risk plays are going to be down all day? I mean, maybe, because a lot of people show up in the morning and they say, okay, where's the action? I'm going to trade where the action is. And so they're not necessarily trading where the action was yesterday. So it could be that the market's taken a little pivot. Let's take a look at regional banks. Anything going on with the banks? Carver Bancorp lost money, so that one I'm not too surprised about. Cash, Pathward Financial, Service. And then we look at a lot of stocks unchanged, and then a couple stocks up, but 1% or less. So Broadway Financial, be careful. They took a $150 million investment from the U.S. Treasury in preferred C-class shares. I guess doesn't stop the stock from rising, because I guess people feel like if the Treasury's backing them up, they're probably not going to go bankrupt. So Broadway Financial, just be careful. I guess that's about it. Let's see if there's anything else worth talking about. I guess the morning look. Let's take a look and see how interest rates are really doing. I mean, we can look at the futures like this, but it's not, it doesn't really tell you a story. I want the story. Where's the story on interest rates? I'm moving some of my stock tickers, which I have on the other page, right? The ones that I'm following that the model picked. Not a lot of pre-market action. So I think the note must have gone out that said, don't trade too much pre-market. Friday's kind of a worrisome day. I'm not sure why that would be. Not sure why that would be. But yeah, a lot of stocks in our model pick. The risk on, risk off. The risk on stocks are not really moving. Or if they're moving in the wrong direction. So today may not be your risk on day. It's just so fascinating to watch it, right? Earlier this week, wow, the model picked stocks and they went through the roof. But today, it's a little slow today. Maybe today's the day when the market decides to give back some of its gains. It's just hard to know, right? So let's take a look at what I've got. So first off, our investments are just total crap right now. Yeah, Hallador Energy, this is interesting. Just so you know, we're short Hallador Energy. We think it's overpriced. And in fact, Hallador Energy just raised more money. On July 29, they issued a convertible promissory note for $5 million to a company director. And on July 29, they will issue another $3 million on August 8. A convertible promissory note. And they'll do another convertible promissory note for $1 million. So that's it's complicated, and they're small dollar amounts. So you've got a 5 million, 3 million, 1 million. That's 9 million. And then they can convert at $6.25.4. The stock has an 8%. Oh, and the company can decide to pay back the note, to redeem the note. $6.25.4, and it is an 8% promissory note. So, $9 million promissory note yields 8% interest to company insiders. It's so odd. It's so complicated, right? It's a promissory note that's convertible. Why not just sell shares? Why not just do an offering? You got all this good business. So instead, they're just selling promissory notes to company insiders for stock. No idea. All right. Grow generation. Let's go back to that. And Hydrofarm also had real decline in business activity. Yeah, I don't know if I'm worried about this or not, right? I mean, China is doing really interesting military things around Taiwan. And by the way, we have 3 aircraft carriers in the region. That's not normal. So we knew Nancy Pelosi was going. We probably knew it hella in advance. We have 3 aircraft carriers positioned right around Taiwan. It's almost like they want to provoke a reaction. And so China does military drills. I just want to see some of the numbers. We're going to have to go to CNN for this one. They do a pretty good job on breaking war news. So, where is it? How could you not have this as a key? It shouldn't be this hard to find. Let's see.
Fighter jets scrambling to take off. Missiles on the move. And plumes of smoke seen by residents in the Chinese city closest to Taiwan. The video shows live rockets being fired towards the Taiwan Straits. Moments later, state media confirmed the launch. The woman filming says, "Wow, we're witnessing history." Beijing unleashing a show of force on Taiwan over U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to the island. China's military claims it's starting the largest ever drills around the island.
My teammates and I flew our fighter and headed for the airspaces around the Taiwan island. We are ready for combat and able to fight at any time.
Defying Beijing's threats, Pelosi met with Taiwan's president and key lawmakers.
All right, so those were armed. At least in that picture. Who knows when it's from? We don't know. But let's get a feel for it. So I heard about the drones. 2 drones flew around Okinawa. By the way, that's a big deal because our bases are in Okinawa. Live fire drills, Chinese warships, aircraft carriers. Here we go. So they are surrounding Taiwan with military equipment, military assets. This is interesting. They also put missiles within Japan's exclusive economic zone. China sent missiles. They have ships, 22 warplanes, defined as Su-30s, J-11s, and J-16s. 4 drones. We see mobile missile launchers. And so, I don't know. I think this is interesting. I think you're going to have a lot of action with China. I don't know that China wants to start a war. I don't think anyone knows, but I would be very surprised that China wants to start a war. That's not their style. And so, VIX is rising slightly. And look at that. Futures are down. So something just happened in the last 10 minutes. Dollar is strengthening. Economic activity is strengthening. Interest rates are rising significantly. That's a big rise right there. That's a 1% rise in the 30-year. 0.75% rise in the 10. And there you go. Futures are down. So I guess I changed my entire story on at least what the futures are doing because the story changed. So let's do a quick sticky note so you can follow along. Funny part is no one's even watching this video. No one cares. That's okay. I care. So the first thing I see is VIX rising. US dollar strengthening. Futures falling. US Treasury long bond note rates are rising, which means the bonds are falling. Copper is up, likely due to economic activity expectations. Energy up slightly, including coal stocks. I'm going to make this bigger so you can follow. Lots of interesting stuff going on. Raises another $9 million from insiders. And convertible promissory notes yielding 8% and convertible for $6.25.4. Now and on August 8th. Okay, that's interesting. What else did we see? Bonds. Oh, on the stocks, we saw that. New highs, new lows, finally. So, market breath. New highs to new lows for the first time. Looks like it's at 1 to 0.9. Holy cow, Batman. That's a big difference. And that's when the S&P was actually down a little bit. We look at bonds. Yeah, highs to lows, it still looks like it's about 2 to 1. So this is equities. This is U.S. corporate fixed income. New highs looks like it's about 0.5 to 1.0. All right. What's interesting is advancers beat decliners because the interest rates yesterday continued their decline. So I'm watching the stocks that our model said to pick, and wow, they're all correcting. They're all handing back their pre-market gains. It's that quickly. We're looking at, I'll tell you what they are. We are tracking 6 stocks that our model said to buy. If you think the U.S. equity market will return, so it's expected return of 10% or more. And it's TNA, SI, Coin, Apps, Upstart, NVIDIA. And the best thing to do would be TNA, and then TNA, SI, Coin. So it's very interesting, very interesting. So the world looking a little negative. China's up. You know what's interesting is with all of this noise, Chinese equity markets continue to rise. I want to say they rose all week. I'm going to have to take a look at that. We'll look at the SSE. We'll look at it for a year. It's on a decline, but it looks like in April it reached its minimum at 3,000. So the SSC hit a floor or a bottom in late April of around 3,000. It's interesting it hasn't moved as much. Now it's August 5th and it's 32.27. So it's up 8%, 7.5%. It's interesting. It's just not moving as much as the U.S. market. It's I need to think about that. That's important. Silver's up above 20 again. So something happened. Look at the Russell. Look at the futures. Okay, what happened? The Nasdaq dropped. The S&P 500 dropped. Cohen's not telling us. Nope. We're not going to pay for the site. Pre-market turned decidedly negative, down 0.75%. The implied open is down 32 points. That's a lot. We still don't know why, though. Okay, maybe this is it. U.S. economy adds 528,000 new jobs. Great. I can't even look at the article. All right, here we go. U.S. added 528,000 jobs. It's a lot of jobs. Previous months were revised higher. It's a lot of jobs. And the unemployment rate declined. It wasn't just payroll. Wages came in hot. July average hourly earnings rose 5.2% year on year. Trying to keep up with inflation. That's great. Job market looks hot. U.S. job market is hot. By the way, people like an emoji too. We'll do like a fiery one. Hot, hot, hot. On fire. Hot, hot, hot. All right, now it's an official Twitter approved tweet because I put the fire emojis in there, which is really important. All right, so we're going to save that one. But it doesn't explain why the market is stupid. I don't want to look at that. Don't want to look at that. The COVID numbers, by the way, a little sore throat right now from all this market excitement. COVID's not going anywhere. Inflation's not going anywhere either. I know that's the old data, but it doesn't matter. Total assets. How are we doing with total assets? It looks like they're finally starting to reduce the size of the balance sheet. It's nice to see. Mortgage-backed security prices are down. Fixed interest rate mortgages are down. Mortgage-backed securities are down. Fixed interest rates are down. 30-year bond yields are up. So that means 30-year bonds are down. 10-year bond yields are up. You know what? We're going to reverse everything that happened this week. Oh, I see him. All right. Hope you liked the video. I hope you realize that the market is going to be red and it's going to be in trouble today. And that's just the way it is. Because economic news came in stronger than expected. So good luck in the markets today. We're not paid to make the videos. We do it just to get our head straight and to share with you what we're thinking. We also do blog posts and all that. So if you like the video, hit the subscribe button, please. We really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Good luck in the markets today. Bye-bye.